Haiti's watersheds have been severely degraded by a demographic explosion, combined with weak agricultural productivity and the deterioration of natural resources due to the lack of compliance with norms, regulations, and laws. WINNER is a 5-year project seeking to improve the livelihoods of targeted rural populations of Haiti and to reduce the risks created by the environmental degradation in its areas of intervention. The project implements activities in the Laquinte and Cul-de-Sac watersheds and in the regions of Cabaret, Archaie, and Mirbalais. WINNER works closely with the government of Haiti, intervenes rapidly to produce tangible results, and implements structures that will continue to operate at the end of the project. To illustrate and better understand the project's approach, we invite you to take a small virtual tour of the Cul-de-Sac watershed. During this visit, you will be able to see the interventions undertaken to achieve sustainable management of watersheds. These actions must be realized at 2 levels: upstream in the mountains and downstream in the plains. In many ways, WINNER's interventions are realized in a concept of integration and unity, based on a holistic approach. The activities described below are all oriented towards the project's main objectives, which are the reduction of vulnerability to natural disasters and the improvement of populations' livelihoods. WINNER's interventions follow 6 strategic principles: re-establish the ecological equilibrium, modernize the agricultural sector, rehabilitate and maintain rural infrastructures, create new economic and job opportunities, reduce the vulnerability to natural disasters, and promote good governance. Here is a table showing the main characteristics of the Cul-de-Sac watershed. Since September 2009, WINNER has undertaken important interventions, particularly in the sub-watershed of the Rivière Grise. We are now upstream of the watershed, in the mountain areas. In order to slow down the degradation process, the mountain is naturally at the center of the project's overall reforestation program. We are establishing several nurseries, more than 3 million species for the year, with close to 1 million only in the Cascoff area. The project strategy is to always work with farmer associations. Thus, 207 farmer associations are involved in the reforestation program. We chose to promote fruit trees, 80% of the total, so that farmers will consider these trees as a source of additional income that they must protect. Following the January 12th earthquake, we also added a strategy aimed at reducing demand for wood charcoal by promoting the use of propane gas and distributing propane gas stoves to street food vendors. The mountain region is also where the project undertakes important ravine treatment activities to reduce vulnerability to natural disasters. The ravine treatment strategy, also called an attack strategy, aims to reduce water runoff downstream and also reduces the risks of the river peak flows, which may cause dangerous floods. We are building check dams, gabions, and planting vetiver hedgerows along riverbanks. The use of vetiver is a biological engineering system which gives excellent results and is used worldwide in hillside stabilization and soil conservation techniques. In order to modernize the agricultural sector, WINNER has adopted an approach centered around the farmers by providing them assistance to increase their productivity. The project will help the farmers acquire the necessary resources and capacities to become more productive and generate substantial income while protecting the environment in a sustainable manner. WINNER's strategy is to implement Rural Centers for Sustainable Development, CRDDs. These facilities serve as demonstration and training centers and will help promote new technologies. With the CRDD, the project helps small farmers practice modern agricultural techniques so that they can at least double their income. At the wind farm, we are assisting farmers in the preparation of demonstration plots cultivated with the most current varieties, and we showcase the differences between the traditional methods of production and best agricultural practices. Partnership with the School of Agriculture at the University of Florida, we are introducing the use of a greenhouse as a system of protected agriculture. The greenhouse helps promote vertical agriculture and drip irrigation systems. The project will train farmers to cultivate vertically using the least amount of water possible in order to generate more yields per square meter. The greenhouse is also a tool to control the ideal climatic conditions for certain species. At the CRDD, we have built a water catchment that irrigates the farm by gravity. In the hillsides, 5 water catchments have been built. In partnership with the farmer associations, we have established 6 agricultural input supply stores in the area. WINNER made in-kind grants to the farmer stores to constitute their initial stock. The project also trains the farmers in management and accounting principles. Therefore, Profits generated from sales of inputs allow the farmers' stores to renew their inventory, earn an income, and most importantly, supply the communities of small farmers with direct access to seeds and agricultural tools. It is also through these stores that Winner was able to introduce the new potato variety, granola, from Idaho, a highly productive variety that can be harvested 2 months before the local variety. Winner also provide rural populations with alternative sources of revenues not related to agriculture. Coops for egg-laying hens, which are distributed mostly to women, are an example of this strategy. A well-kept egg-laying hen coop can generate an average of $5 per day per household. The project has also finalized a study to establish a dairy unit in the region to promote cattle farming. The rehabilitation of rural infrastructure is crucial for the economic development of the watersheds. Winner, in partnership with 2 associations of the region, Soardec and Afenec-Convite, is implementing 2 potable water supply systems for the benefit of 28,000 people living in remote areas. Prior to this initiative, the population had to walk at least 1 hour to procure the precious resource. Winner has financed Monagep, a farmer association in the area, to build a rural road over 5 kilometers that will facilitate access to remote areas, to the Kinskov commune and to other nearby communes. It will allow producers to sell their goods and local inhabitants to have better access to basic services. In the area of governance, one of the project components, Winner also assists the management committee of the commune of Kinskov to strengthen its map-making capabilities by donating hardware and software equipment, training staff in GIS mapping and the use of software. The project also trains committee members in the preparation of maps, which will be needed to prepare the communal development plans. Together with the local authorities, the farmer associations, and other civil society organizations, the project has elaborated a disaster contingency plan for the commune. We are now downstream of the watershed in the plain. The strategy is the same as for the mountain regions, but the environment is different. The water flowing from the mountains passes through the Bassin Général. The Rivière Grise irrigated perimeter is the most important in the Cul-de-Sac plain, and this despite its important state of degradation. The canals, after more than 20 years of neglect, were clogged with dirt and other sediments, slowing and reducing the flow of water. Wild grasses had invaded the space, totally obstructing the canals. The farmers in the plain, without any access to an irrigation system, slowly abandoned agricultural activities, and some of their lands were put up for sale for real estate purposes. Farmer associations in the region had identified this problem as the most urgent and asked Winner's help to rehabilitate the irrigation system before the winter bean campaign, so that they could have a better production. The project's team immediately started to work, hiring more than 200 farmers and using heavy agricultural equipment. We were able to rehabilitate and clean the irrigation system on more than 16 kilometers. The dredged irrigation canals now provide water to more than 4,000 hectares of land. The rehabilitation of the Dumais irrigation system was done in 2 stages. A preliminary intervention to save the bean harvest, followed by the consolidation of certain structures with masonry walls, the installation of gates to better manage water flows and its distribution. In the context of its program to rehabilitate irrigation systems, Winner has spent $1 million and hired 10,000 farmers. The project has been able to dredge irrigation canals over 400 kilometers of the irrigation system. Moreover, in order to ensure the sustainability of rural infrastructures, Winner, in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture, mayor's offices, and farmer associations, has created a management and maintenance committee for the irrigation canals, composed of 40 supervisors, also called chef canal. This group oversees a well-balanced water distribution system and periodically cleans the canals. This structure has been established by the farmer associations, and all the users have committed to pay for the water used. The rehabilitation of the irrigation canals at Dumais has encouraged the practice of a more modern agriculture in the plain. As part of its assistance to the winter bean campaign, Winner sold close to 66 tons of seeds to the farmers. This assistance generated close to $3 million of revenues. The project, to modernize agricultural practices in the plain, has established a CRDD at Baboen. This CRDD will be an experimental center where the best agricultural practices will be applied, a training center, and will also be used to introduce innovative techniques. Through the CRDD, Winner has introduced various improved seed varieties. For example, For the culture of corn, the farmers used hybrid seeds from Pioneer and Monsanto and obtained excellent yields. The use of these improved and certified corn seeds has increased productivity by more than 60%. A new sorghum variety was also introduced with early germination and a highly productive capacity. These excellent results for small farmers were largely made possible by the proximity of the agricultural input supply stores installed in most of the plain region. During the spring agricultural campaign, the project encouraged the use of mechanical equipment to prepare the fields and also subsidized the cost of 50 tractors that were provided to the farmers. With this new mechanical equipment, farmers were able to save on average $150 per hectare of land in soil preparation costs. An important factor to obtain good results in the agricultural campaign is Winner's technical assistance given throughout the campaign. Winner hired 250 young agronomists to provide a continuous assistance to the farmers. At the same time, the project continued its efforts to train master farmers. The master farmers are members of farmer associations trained in various modern agricultural techniques, in environmental protection and in the management of small farms. After receiving the basic training, the extension farmers can specialize in a specific technique and may later become true agents in rural development by transmitting their newly acquired knowledge in their respective communities. This year, close to 860 extension farmers will be trained, and Winner hopes to train 5,000 more during the next 5 years. The intensive rice growing system, SRI, which has been introduced in the plain, is an excellent example of agricultural intensification. This system produces higher yields with fewer seeds. In fact, whereas the traditional system is based on sowing rice grain seeds, SRI, by transplanting only one pre-germinated rice seed at a time, used fewer seeds per hectare, 6 kilograms per hectare in the SRI technique instead of 40 kilograms per hectare with the traditional method. Furthermore, the SRI system, by alternating irrigation and drainage procedures, allow farmers to use 30% less water. The farmers using the SRI technique have noted a 50% increase in productivity, regardless of the rice variety cultivated and with less use of chemical fertilizers. As the Haitian farmer is increasing its productivity, Winner is making all the necessary efforts to help him obtain better and more equitable market prices for his products. This strategy is one of the objectives of Winner's public-private producer partnership component. We have established several partnerships between the farmer associations and agro-industrial firms in order to boost economic opportunities in the agricultural sector. This is particularly the case in the corn value chain. One example of Winner's post-harvest assistance is the project support for the Association for the Development of Babouin, Adebabo, in the establishment of a grain transformation unit, corn and sorghum, the construction and the installation of an agricultural input store, and a coop for egg-laying hens. These activities aim to strengthen the organization's capacity and provide diversified and alternative sources of revenues in the region. Winner is also strengthening the institutional capacity of the municipality of Croix-des-Bouquets, as well as supporting its efforts in solid waste management. Recently, the project has presented the municipality with a disaster contingency plan for the commune. To reduce the vulnerability of populations to flooding in the plain, Winner has started the reprofiling of the banks of the Rivière Grise. Here, we are in Santo, at the mouth of the Rivière Grise. In this section of the river, the banks are formed of materials primarily composed of clay and silt, which are extremely sensitive to erosion. But the river is also marked with sharp, sinuous bands. This situation has intensified the effects of erosion on the left and right banks, particularly at the bends and meanders, which causes considerable losses of agricultural lands and destroys homes located along the river. Winner has reprofiled 12 kilometers of this section to reduce losses to human life, buildings, and agricultural lands in the regions of Damiens, Marin, and Cité-Soleil. Here ends this virtual tour. We hope that the activities undertaken in the Rivière Grise watershed have helped you understand the complexities of the issues at hand and the integrated approach applied by Winner in its efforts to seek sustainable solutions. The activities we have presented are not unique. They are part of a holistic, integrated, and unified approach towards the rehabilitation of the watersheds and are articulated around the 4 project components: improvement of livelihoods, rehabilitation of critical infrastructures, promotion of good governance, and the establishment of public-private producer partnerships to create tangible and sustainable impacts on the population's living conditions.